Happy Sunday, everybody, or Monday, whenever you're listening to it, or Tuesday or Wednesday. We're recording this on Sunday after the NFL draft, and we are talking about the rookies we love, the rookies that are in prime position to really succeed. I've got a couple. We're going to go three. Let's go three each, Jim. We don't want to give away all the secrets because they got to get 16 rounds and the draft tool. But Jim, welcome to the show. We're talking about the winners, the guys that really jumped out at Jim and I out of this draft. It was a great draft, some great opportunity for fantasy. Jim, are you excited to dive into this?
Oh, I'm super excited. Super excited. Hey, why don't you tell everybody who you took in your FFPC draft first overall, pick number 6. Who'd you take?
This is exciting. And let's just roll right into it. But before we do, though, Jim, make sure you guys get the 16-round drafts. We should have linked it below. Sleepers, breakouts, everything you need. Secure the solution right now. I've linked it below. Get that once you're in there. There's going to be a video encouraging you to get the draft tool that Jim created himself. He engineered it. Well, I don't know if it was him completely, but it was his team. But I'm telling you guys, get the draft tool after you get 60 rounds. Amazing compliments and 60-round draft solution. Get them both and drop a thumbs up. And in the comments below, who do you love from the draft? Love to get your feedback. Jim, my energy's high. I'm actually drafting. I'm the only guy. I'm one of the crazies that's drafting in April right now, believe it or not. And that is a good question. I'm going to tell everybody who I drafted here. And I'm telling you, like, I'm looking at this chart. I'm seeing people. You know, Eckler was still there. I'm like, I'm not really in Eckler. Joe Lombardi's not there. They're not going to be dumping it off to him as much. They drafted a rookie wide receiver whom I like. Eckler's going to see a decline. And I'm looking at CMC. He was still there, believe it or not. I'm like, I don't want CMC. Actually, I think CMC went earlier. I have to check it out. Let me just check it out here. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah, I think he went like second or third.
Second or third. Yeah, there's a bunch of other people sitting there. I'm just, I have to go with this guy. I love the upside. The guy I'm going with, and I don't care how I pronounce it, the guy I'm going with is Bijan Robinson. I got him 6th. I was like sweating. I wanted him. They went Jefferson, McCaffrey, Kelsey, because in this league, it's 1.5. You get an extra 0.5 per reception on tight end. Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. I went Bijan at 6. And then Cooper Kupp and Austin Eckler came after that. Dude, I'm excited about this. A Bijan to the moon. You don't draft a player 8th overall, first round, and you bench him. I don't see it. What do you think, Jim?
Oh, I freaking love it. Like I said, I was so disappointed with what happened with Kenneth Walker's situation because he was my number 1, and now he is not. He has plunged down my rankings.
Yes.
Talk about a perfect situation in a run-first offense that is going to run the ball a ton. This guy's going to get monstrous amounts of volume. I'm very excited to see what he can do this year.
I'm excited too, and I'm willing to roll the dice. And at the end of the day, in the first round, what you want is a secure, young, dynamic running back that's going to get the volume. That's all you ask for. Last year, people thought they can get it again with Jonathan Taylor. I get my guy. I'm going to do it again. I said, no, decline's happening. Sure enough, it was. He busted. Dalvin Cook didn't perform where he was. A lot of running backs tend to fall off sometimes or get hurt or something happens. So all we're asking for is a full, true workhorse running back. I believe I got him in Bijan in this major money league. I'm excited. And so that's my first one, man. That's the one that I love. I'm all in on Bijan. I'm excited about him. I'm excited about the talent. And, Algier will be there, but he's going to be, he's going to be there near the goal line here and there. Give him some air once in a while. But if they want to win, and if Desmond Ridder wants the best chance to succeed, he needs the best players on the field. And Bijan at the running back position is beyond exciting.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about Algier at all. He is a total backseat to Bijan. I'm not even at all concerned. We see this all the time with these low draft capital players that come out, have a great season. James Robinson, anyone? And then what do? That team goes ahead and spends a high draft capital pick. You can't get any higher than top 10 in the NFL draft. That guy comes in, completely replaces the other guy. The other guy is completely irrelevant, barring some injury to Bijan at this point. That's the only way he has any value. He's strictly a handcuff at this point. So it is Bijan all the way, 100%. So
all right. So that's my first one. I gave it away, and I'm doing a draft as we speak. It's a 6-hour slow draft, and I'm just watching the picks come off pretty fast and beyond excited. I got to jump right in when fantasy starts. Now, I went through the depth chart. I'm laying out 60 rounds as we speak. If you guys have got 60 rounds, chill out. It's going to be out in the next couple of weeks. And I know Jim's working on the draft tool as well. We're going to have that to you in a couple of weeks as well, right? Right, Jimmy? About 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah. I'm projecting mine's going to be ready to go by about the 21st of May. is what it looked like. But this week, I'm hoping to get all the rookies in there so I can start working on them and get them all tuned for the app. So, but I sent you that initial list, the initial rankings that looked pretty good. I think the cutting point system is working really, really good there. So I'm very excited for it being ready to go. So
and bear with us. There's a lot of information to digest because you got to take a look at where these players land, how the depth chart looks, how high are they on the depth chart. You got to try to calculate, project volume, project opportunity. Then you also got to go back and watch the tape. How does this player play? Is he more of a pass catching running back, for example? Is he more of a goal line guy? Like tight ends, right? Like Green Bay drafted 2 tight ends, and we just looked at some stats here. Again, you may or may not know this. Green Bay has 2 tight ends they drafted, okay? There was one guy, let me pull this up here. The guy that was drafted in the 2nd round is less of a pass catcher than the guy that they drafted in the 3rd round, which I'm going to pull up in a second here because I got the notes here. So they drafted Luke Musgrove in round 2, and they got Tucker Kraft in round 3. But again, I looked at that initially. You think naturally maybe Luke's the main guy, but no, you're going Tucker Kraft probably because he's more of a pass catching guy, got more touchdowns in college. So it's just stuff we're trying to process here and lay it out. So bear with us here. But we want to do this episode right after the draft to get you guys information and tell you the guys we love. Why Jan's the first one. Jim, do you want to just jump right into who you're loving right now?
I gotta say, man, I am so excited about this next player. I can barely stand it right now.
I'm excited
the
for you.
Dude ranked out this receiver ranked out as the 3rd best overall rating in the combine. So I just can't believe that this team was able to get them so late. He went number 55, but to the Kansas City Chiefs, it's Rashee Rice. I think this guy has the potential to actually be a proper replacement for Tyreek Hill. Last year they just kind of went with a hodgepodge. Once Tyreek left, they brought in Juju, they brought in Marquez Valdez-Scantling, they brought in Kadarius Toney, and all those guys together kind of did what Tyreek Hill did. Now, a couple of them have jettisoned. They're no longer on the team. I don't think Kadarius Toney is a reliable option. I don't think he can stay on the field. I think he's more of a special teams, big play kind of guy. He'll have some exciting highlights, but I don't think he can handle a full workload. But let me tell you what, this Rashee Rice looks amazing. 13.4 yard per carry career average, 1st team All-American ACC player in 2022. Man, I think he comes in. He is the number 1 wide receiver. Obviously, he's behind Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's the number 1, but I think the upside opportunity for this guy is absolutely tremendous with Patrick Mahomes. Absolutely love it. And when we look at all the wide receivers that were taken in the 1st round of the draft, every single one of them went into these crowded receiving rooms where at best, maybe they will be the number 2. Like I didn't see any of those guys that went in the 1st round as being a number 1. But I got to say, man, I think Rashee Rice can be, with the potential for a decline from Kelce. I think I think sky's the limit for this guy. I'm very excited.
You got me salivating over this pick because I'm looking at the depth chart here. Kadarius Toney, he's good sometimes, got some flashes, but injuries and inconsistencies. Yeah. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, one-trick pony. No, years to wow us were now out. Sky Moore had the opportunity last year, never stepped up. And then you've got Travis Kelce, who, yes, he's the one, but the problem is he's already trying to make a debut to the WWE. So I think, the decline of Kelce has to come at some point. Maybe it's not this year, but at the end of the day, you got a guy like Rashee Rice, whose stats look it up. You guys should look it up yourselves. His stats look pretty good in college. And then you've got an opportunity to be a plug and play wide receiver 1 for one of, if not the best quarterback in the NFL. I know they spread the ball around, but someone's got to stand out. And like you said, maybe it's a Tyreek Hill replacement. I don't know, but for the value, that's insane. Stash and let's go. I mean, we don't want to give away all our secrets here, but you can see how we've done the analysis, and there's a huge opportunity, a huge void for a true wide receiver 1, which they don't have. And this is exciting. Rashee Rice, round 2 pick, by the way, early draft capital. They believe in him. This is great.
I don't know how the Chiefs keep doing this, man. But yeah, kudos to them, man. I'm very excited. Very excited. Okay.
Again,
I got my my Mahomes jersey right there. It's going to be a good year for Mahomes. I think it's going to be good.
All right. There's so many rookies here. That's why, guys, get 16 rounds. All this will be laid out for you. So make sure you guys secure the solution. I've linked it below. All this is going to be laid out for you. And then when you get the draft tool within 60 rounds after that, you order that separately, you're going to have a lot of breakdown on analytics on these guys as well, I'm sure. All right, so let me go with the second guy here I like, and I'm having a hard time decide, Jim, because there's so many sleepers, so many potential breakouts. Again, I'm doing this on the fly, so I'm looking at 4 guys right now that I want to bring up, but I'm only going to give you 2, and I'm torn. But I've got them right here. Hold on, so I'm going to go back here because I got my notes.
Yeah, there was a number of guys that I think are in pretty good situations, but I'm like specifically looking at these 3 guys as my top day 2 players from the NFL draft. Just love the opportunity that these guys have in front of them. So,
so here's the guy. So this is really being drawn to me. It's like something's pulling me towards this character here, this player,
sure,
this personality. And the guy who's a 3rd round pick. I know we had a little debate before this episode started, but let me go over why I like him. Tank Bigsby. Okay, guy is talented out of college. 3rd round pick. Once you start getting 4th round, you start thinking they kind of like him, but they don't. But once you go rounds 1 to 3, you're more enticed that they're going to use him. Now I understand ATN is there. First year ATN didn't really play. Last year played, had some fumbling and some struggles with catching the ball here and there. Had some inconsistent games. Yes, ATN could be the guy, but so can Tank, right? And maybe ATN gets hurt. Are we still sold that he is a durable player? I don't know. But I think Tank Bigsby could be a great value. And here's how I look at it. I'm not saying go Tank Bigsby round 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I'm saying fade ATN, get another running back, right? According to 16 rounds in the draft tool, get another running back, get Bigsby later, and Bigsby can potentially take that RB1 spot, or if ATN gets hurt, you've got yourself an awesome running back. This kind of reminds me, not to the same level, because I think Walker was a higher draft capital. Penny was more injury prone than ATN on paper, so it seemed more fitting to go Walker last year over Penny. I'm still getting that type of vibe feeling. Either way, I think he's a great stash later on. What are you thinking of Mr. Tank Bigsby, Jim?
Yeah, you know what? I think this is certainly a negative thing for Etienne, right? It's no longer. I was very much liking Etienne's upside. I like the upside of the Jaguars' offense, and I thought, oh man, this dude's going to be a workhorse. He's going to get all the volume on a really good offense this year. I think he's going to be great. But now that Tank's coming in with this 3rd round draft capital, it's going to be a timeshare. And I think you're going to see maybe Tank is going to be more of the hammer in that backfield. He's going to be the short yardage. He's going to be the goal line guy. Etienne's going to be more the finesse guy. He's going to be going out on the outside and catching passes, 3rd down player, that sort of thing. So it is, there is the potential there. I think, I don't know where, like I said, I have no idea where these guys are going to go on the draft board right now. I'm completely blind except for Bijan, who's a 1st round player. But I have no idea where Rashee Rice is going to go. I have no idea where Tank Bigsby is going to go, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty late. He's going to be a great value, and he's going to be good for your fantasy team. So I think there is an upside there for sure. So
the thing is, he's big. He's 6 foot 215. He's definitely going to get the goal line work. He lowers his shoulders, breaks tackles. He's a strong guy. I've got notes here. He's pretty twitchy as well. He's able to change direction in an instant, and he can catch the ball, which is really good. He had 30 receptions last year for 180 yards, and I think no receiving touchdowns, but he had 10 touchdowns on the ground. Just under 1,000 yards last year, 1,099 in 2021. I'm just looking at stats here. I'm laying it out. I'm analyzing. I'm looking at Tank, and I'm looking at the value here. I'm all over it. I as a late round stash, which is probably where he's going to go. I don't see any, but maybe people rise him up the depth chart as soon as you start hearing stuff at a training camp. And this is why I love drafting early, because you can get a Tank Bigsby super late, right? And people are just not even aware of them, right? That's the advantage of getting 16 rounds, because you're going to be light years ahead of the competition. The closer we get to that draft, the more truth comes out, the more we see these guys. We might even see them in preseason. That's where some people wake up to players like, oh, I didn't know who that guy was. Well, now you do. And that's how good he looks. You should have drafted him back in April, right? So that's
look at Dameon Pierce last year. He was like a 10th round pick or something when we first started looking at their rankings.
Yeah.
And he was just steadily moving up. And then he hit another level. He really rocketed up right at the end there into the 4th round, 3rd round. You even told me that somebody took him in the 2nd round, which was nuts. but you could see that his value exploded, and all those people that got Pierce in the 9th, 10th round were sitting pretty. I mean, that was perfect. And every week starter that you got in the 9th round is going to help your fantasy team tremendously. So yeah, there's opportunity there. So
all right,
so
Jim.
I've got a tank player as well for my second guy that I like. He is, but this is Tank Dell. It's a wide receiver. He's out of Houston. He was drafted number 69 overall. He was, I'm sorry, did I say he was out of Houston? He's not. He was drafted by Houston. He's from Penn State. And I'll tell you what, I mean, obviously, Houston took their franchise quarterback. They took C.J. Stroud, 2nd overall. This is a rookie quarterback. I do not like rookie quarterbacks, but I got to tell you, man, I like this pairing, and I think that Tank Dell is going to get absolutely peppered with targets because he is a slot receiver. So he's going to be playing close to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be right in C.J. Stroud's face all season. CJ is going to see him, going to throw him a ton of balls. This guy has been monstrous at Penn State in 2021 and 2022, over 1,300 yards and over 12 touchdowns in both those seasons. I am seeing total Amon-Ra vibes here from this guy. That's the vibes I'm getting from Tank Dell. Absolutely love him. What do you think?
Someone's got to catch the ball. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Someone's got to catch the ball. This offense is in definitely need of a receiver. I mean, you always got to be questioning, rookie wide receivers coming in. That's my only concern here. Obviously, it's going to be a stash here with some upside. That's where I'm at with this, really. It's just, again, I'm always cautious about rookie wide receivers, but there is a good opportunity. Out of the rookie wide receivers, not my favorite because I'm not sure what a rookie quarterback is going to do. To a rookie wide receiver. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'd rather have more of a veteran quarterback throwing to a rookie wide receiver in a position, but there's no ideal scenario. But I mean, I can't debate the opportunity is good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is that there's literally no one else to throw the ball to in this offense. It is a funnel offense. It's gonna be Tank. It's gonna be Tank all season. So like I said, I'm very excited about that player. So
there's a lot of Tank.
We love.
How about John?
We
but
love
I can't discount John Mechie, who again was sidelined to cancer. He was a early round pick, so maybe Mechie's the guy, right? We don't know.
Could be, but we haven't seen anything from Mechie. He hasn't played at all, so we have no idea how good a player he is, how well he can perform. He's coming off of cancer treatment, so it's it'll be. Can he get back up to being 100% healthy after going through something like that? I think I don't know. Tank Dell's fully healthy right now, so that's where I'm going. That's where I'm leaning.
All right, I got a rookie for you here in a prime position, a top 10 prospect coming out of this NFL 2023 draft. Opportunities there. I mean, how do you not deny this? The guy I'm talking about here, again, I got to see what this is, Jimmy. This is something you got to monitor very closely. You want to monitor the ADP of this guy because you're going to potentially get a wide receiver one. The guy I'm talking about is Jalen Hyatt, 6 foot, 185 out of Tennessee on the New York Giants in a prime position. Yes, they finally went wide receiver and they got him. Who else is there? They've got Isaiah Hodgins, they've got Slayton, they've got Wan'Dale Robinson. Guys that like years to wow us were not. Wow, Jalen Hyatt's ultra fast, consistently blew by defenders in college. From what I hear, speed is the calling card for him. I'm looking at notes here. Also accelerates to his top speed. It accelerates to top speed in a blink of an eye. Great separation. A lot of good points on him. His college stats were good. He had 1,200 yards last year, 15 touchdowns. That was his best year. Was 2022. The other year is not so good. Really came out last year and had himself a good year. Jalen Hyatt, Jim, what do you think here, man? There could be some huge upside here.
Yeah, well, I didn't place him as my top 3 favorites that came off in day 2, but I very much like the situation. Obviously, this is another team that does not have wide receiver core. You mentioned Wan'Dale Robinson. That dude tore his ACL. I don't think he's going to be up to full speed this year. So, and really, this team has had a lack of wide receivers for the entire time that Daniel Jones has been the quarterback there. So the opportunity is there for Jalen for sure. Yeah, I think he's going to be great. I think there is definite upside there. I don't know if I say could be a top 10 wide receiver, but certainly the opportunity to be a very productive player, great fantasy player, but potentially lots of splash plays there if he gets good separation and he's got that speed.
Oh,
So
by the way, these aren't my top
see.
3. I want to stand corrected. These are just players I love. They're not in any order. They're not like,
okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are just players we love. I love so many. I wouldn't say that they're my top 3. There's other wide receivers that I probably like more than this guy, but these are just the ones that jumped out at me that I just love initially. Again, I got to sit down, break it down, but I still like the opportunity, just not my absolute favorite. I think Bijan definitely is, but the other 2, I'm still, feeling it out. I like them.
Right. Yeah. So my final guy is a running back. And I got to say, I think this guy might be this year's Dameon Pierce. He's going to be completely ignored by most of the consensus, but it's Devin Achane from South Carolina. He was taken 51st overall. He's going to the Miami Dolphins. And I really love this because even though the Dolphins look like they have a crowded running back room, it is the suckiest set of quarterbacks, I think, in the NFL right now. You've got 33-year-old, let's see here. Wait a minute. Let's see here. 33-year-old Raheem Mostert. You got Jeff Wilson Jr., who's really never done anything in the NFL. Okay. And then you got Myles Gaskin, who sucks beyond sucks. This just totally reminds me of like the backfield in Houston last year when they had, they have Rex Burkhead, they had 2 other nobodies, and they brought in Dameon Pierce, and you're like, wow, this guy can just totally take over this backfield. And well, this is a perfect situation. The dude is blazing speed, fearless inside running. That's perfect. A big play guy. That's what the Dolphins are all about, is the big play. And we've got Tua on a contract year. You got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, which are stretching defenses, so they can't stack the box. Dude, I mean, I think he can make a significant impact on this team. And I think the Dolphins are going to be better than what most people expect. I think I definitely see them as a playoff caliber team this next year. So I think there's a lot of upside here. So Devin Achane, it's Achane, but I believe it's pronounced Achane, of the Dolphins. Yeah. So keep your eye out for him.
21-year-old, 5'9", 185 out of Texas A&M. He's a speedster. This guy is a track star. So this is just one of those offenses you just want to sit down on Sunday and watch because of the speed itself. Adding a running back speedster to the already fast wide receiver core is insane. I like this. I'm excited to see this. And 1,100 yards last year in college, 8 touchdowns on the ground. Can also catch the ball, 36 receptions for 196 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns in college. I mean, this guy is exciting. Again, around a cast that has had years, a running back cast, years to wow us that we're not wowed. Opportunities there. Yeah. I am a little cautious about Miami wide running backs over the years. Hasn't been a pleasant experience. I think the last real running back that jumps out at me from the Dolphins was maybe like Lamar Miller. Was it Lamar Miller years ago that had himself a good year?
Oh yeah.
In Miami or something. I could be wrong. It's been so long. No. Lamar Miller was I think in like the mid 2014. I can't remember, man.
Okay.
All right. You remember Lamar Miller, don't you?
I must be thinking of someone else. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of someone else.
But yeah, Lamar Miller.
Obviously, Obviously, Miami has not been good for a long, long time. But I do like this. The coach, Mike McDaniel. I think like I said, I love the explosiveness of this offense. That's the thing that was blowing me away last year, was just the huge plays that Tyreek and Waddle were getting every week. They are like attacking, just all out attacking, deep shots. I think this guy has massive opportunity here, and I just love it.
And so, I was right here. Come on, let me jog your memory. I know we're in 2023 and we're focused on this here, but let me jog your memory. Miami Dolphins 2014. We're going back like 9 years here, Jim. You gotta put on that old memory time machine.
Yeah.
1,000 Lamar Miller, 1,099 yards, 8 touchdowns. And then he had a down year in 2015, came back and was on Houston, had another 1,000-yard rushing season. Lamar Miller, I mean, he was one of those guys that I thought kind of sucked, but he did well in Miami.
Remember.
Yeah, now you remember. Yeah, Lamar Miller.
I remember him. Yeah.
See, and that's where some people come at me all the time when I talk about players. I say, that player sucks. That they say, who are you? Who are you? They're a real NFL athlete. Who are you? And like, it's amazing that these guys were in the NFL, had amazing or like pretty decent fantasy seasons. And a lot of people can't remember them. Like, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying people just cannot remember these players. And it's like, fantasy's evergreen. It just keeps going. It's, you know, with these players, they have a limited shelf life, that they're big, right? You know, and then you just kind of forget about them, and they, you know, you focus on the next best thing. So don't ever underestimate the power of fantasy. Fantasy is greater than reality. Remember that. I'm going off on a tangent. You know,
that's an interesting saying.
Yeah. We live in fantasy land, and it's just one thing that just keeps going. You know, with these players' careers.
That's right.
Like a lot of people, especially young guys that are getting into fantasy now, like 17-year-olds, maybe 18-year-olds that are just getting into this, probably don't know who Matt Forte is, yet he led me to fantasy championships back in 2012. So it's like, you know, I'm just, you know, some of these players are they're forgettable. But either way, these are the 3 players that we love right now that jumped out at us. Let us know what you guys think. Jim, I'm comfortable with these guys. I think they're great positions.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the opportunities that came up in the second and third round were just tremendous, and that was what I was most excited about. You know, and you know, I mean, when you look at the first round, obviously Bijan is great, but the other first round running back that was taken, which I am drawing a blank on his name right now, the guy that went to Detroit, right? He went to Detroit.
Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. You know, I mean, it's like, wow, he's going into a situation. I mean, they used all that draft capital, but he's going into a situation with David Montgomery there. He's not taking over that backfield. I don't think he is. You know, so it's real muddied. You know, and likewise, all those wide receivers that were taken in the first round, very muddied situations. How good can they perform? How in very crowded wide receiver rooms that have really good wide receivers on them. You know, and so it's like, their upside seems so much more limited than these guys that are going in the second and third round. So,
well, that's the thing. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. The problem is, like you said, they paid Montgomery too much. He signed a 3-year deal contract worth $18 million with a $4.5 million signing bonus and $11 million in guarantees. I mean, that's not huge dollars. We're not talking Pat Mahomes money.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
Significant chunk of change for a guy that, you know, I wouldn't personally, this is me, I wouldn't pay a guy $18 million over 3 years plus all these bonuses to have him sit on the bench. They're going to use them. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? It's simple.
Right.
Simple math, basic math, right?
Right. Yeah. But it's just more of a muddied situation as to how is it going to split in that backfield versus, you know, something that's much more clear cut, like Bijan and Algier, you know, where Algier is clearly just going to take a back seat. He's not going to play, and it's going to be all Bijan. You know, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm very excited for the season, man. I'm just like, I'm just chomping at the bit. I'm going to get myself into some early drafts as well, man, because I want to take advantage of these guys before everybody knows about them.
I got the fantasy itch. It's itching all over. I got the itch. Let's go. Yeah. It's been long. All right. So a lot of energy here for you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up. Jim's going to be coming back as a regular now. It seems like the chemistry is pretty good. We're going to keep him. What do you think, Jim? Are we going to keep you around for a bit?
I hope so, man. Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
It's very hard to find people that are passionate about it and actually understand it. Because there's a lot of people that are passionate about it that don't understand it. A lot of people that understand it but aren't passionate about it. Jim's got both. Right. He's just full of passion and love and everything else, Jim. You're just great.
I just want to win. That's what I want. I just want to win.
That's all we ask. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Secure the solution. Drop a player you love that's a rookie. We'll come back to you guys with content. I'm going to try to do a show every day if I can, but it's tough. So we're going to get it out to you. All right.
All right.
Talk soon, guys.
Have a good one, counselor.
We're out.